Right now, the challenge from 0.5 to 1. Why did my colleague and myself pick that topic? If you guys look at the poster here, you can see from EGI Capital, of course, we appreciate Mr. Wang Yuquan and Mr. Ma Xin. They put together this particular event with the title saying 0 to 1, then 1 to a million. I can see 1 to a million is like mass production, commercialization. My good friend up front, Don, will probably later on bring up some sort of prototype, some sort of demo devices. Our job, in many ways, especially in China today, we're going to make billions of those devices for the world to consume. However, my colleague, John, I actually didn't know he had a grand aunt who was Chinese, and who is Chinese. It's wonderful to know John's story in MIT Media Lab. I'm not representing specifically MIT today, but MIT represents 0 to something. And what is that something? To me, it's not 1, it's not a million, it's not a billion. It's infinite possibilities because you gain knowledge. You gain all your experiences, your spirits, throughout your training at MIT and Harvard. And that's my training. I'm an electrical engineer by training. I have a PhD. Of course, I grew up in California. I actually graduated from Berkeley, then MIT. So these are all pure engineering training. Now I put on my tie, put on my suit, because I'm going to shake hands with my buddy Don, making businesses. I'm also capital venture capitalist in a way of Harvard training in business school and MIT Sloan School of Management. And don't forget, many people think about, I really don't want to include China as my first invention disclosure. In many ways, 20 years ago, people are afraid. Why were they afraid? Intellectual property, right? Think about IP, think about intellectual property. They worry about people simply copycat everything. For me today, I am an IP lawyer. So in many ways, I can assure you, Chinese government has done tremendous job over the past decades, try to make sure all the inventions can flow into China. And I do believe in it. I know Vitricity does, and many other startups that we have invested do the same. So very quickly, the startup story, to me, is 0 to 0.5. It's not there yet. When I say 1, I really mean the very first commercially available product. The best example in the United States is if I can buy it from Amazon. So that's very simple. In China, maybe I can say I can buy it from AliExpress or JD.com, Jingdong or Alibaba. Startup, it's wonderful, wonderful. I have 4 startups before. 2 got pretty burned, in a way. We fail, okay, people do fail. 2 of them got pretty good upside. I help my CEOs, I help my partners make more than $1.2 billion. US dollars, not renminbi. So that was pretty exciting. So I decided, perhaps throughout the experiences of startup, I got my gray hair. I'm already short anyway. I was definitely having problem with my heart, with my high blood pressure. And why is that? Everybody knows stress kills. So don't get so stressed up, okay? So I decided to retire at the age of 38. So when I retired, I thought stay home for a year. Couldn't really stay home. As you know, we have that fighter spirit. So at age of 39, I went back to MIT, become a faculty member. So all the MIT colleagues here are my colleagues. I continue to work with MIT ILP, Industrial Liaison Program, and I work with MIT Technology Review China Edition. So that's my affiliation right now. MIT ILP, I started when I was 39. I don't want to tell you when that was, so then you can guess my age. I'm almost 50 years old. And when we started, there was no Chinese company whatsoever in this global organization of the MIT ARM, its Industrial Liaison Program, combining school education, combining businesses and government policies. All that together is MIT IOP. The executive director is Carl Koster. He was my boss. I told him I want to start the MIT China program with the IOP, using that as a platform. I did. When I retired again from MIT IOP, we successfully brought in more than 35 companies from China, including Guodian, Guowang, many state enterprises. And guess what? MIT always worry about people not paying fees, not paying membership fees. All these companies, they all pay. They pay in US dollars in our MIT bank. So it's very wonderful. A few years back, when I was traveling in Beijing, I met several people, young people. They're in media. They're in digital media, in the new form of media. They call that deep science, 深科技. They really do believe there's a future in China for such media presence. So, well, guess what? I wrote a check and gave to the youngsters, and we got a license from MIT Technology Review. We now become MIT Technology Review China partner. So all the Chinese digital media, the paper media, anything related to MIT Technology Review, we have a part in it, and we're very proud to do that. EBO now, coming back to the company that I co-founded with my colleague over there. Just a few years back, we are a venture capital company. We do spend time and efforts reviewing many business proposals. And we interview many startups, especially the CEOs. The CEOs are the leaders of those startups. Not the money, not necessarily their product. Guess what? Everybody here, I'm sure you agree, when we invest on something, we invest not on the gadgets, we invest on people. And that is the key here with the entrepreneur and innovative spirits here in Greater Boston, especially around MIT and Harvard. These two are rival schools, honestly, and everybody's fighting everybody for the best, the top-notch innovation of the year. So, we are here because if you're the best, come to us. That's what we do. However, we also make sure we have the ability to transform what you have. Not the lab. The lab is 0, okay? 0 to 0.5. I'm thinking more like you got some prototypes. You got some real good demo devices. Guess what? You have no idea how to lower the cost. You don't know how to do the market analysis. You don't know how to really make it more regional. Like for instance, for Chinese to really like it, for Indians to like it, to the global consumption. We can help you with that. And that's what I call 0.5 to 1, because I want to help you to make the very first viable, commercializable product. This is MIT, of course. You have seen this from John, from Carmyle. These are all good friends in the same area. Of course, we compete for the best talents. We all have money to give, but we compete for the best talents. For EBO, I'm looking at this as the hub of innovation ecosystem. But this is just a representative. It's a little circle in the middle. Why? We have research institutes around us. We have industrial partners around us, meaning also startups. And with EBO, we have a long-term relationship and a very friendly relationship with Honghai Foxconn Group. And that is #1 manufacturers in the world. Of course, in China, we have more than 1 million workers. So these are all the institutions that we have associated with. I don't have enough room, so I can only put a few, and you can kind of guess. I do not want to go on and say what those letters mean, but these are, I think one WT people can guess is electricity, and others you probably can guess as well. And in Foxconn Group, we have more than 14 subgroups. Each one would bear the burden of probably trillions of dollars, or at least a few hundred billions of dollars revenue on their back. Now, assuming we could work by bridging manufacturing capability, cost down capability, and marketing opportunities to our company, portfolio companies, will be very successful. And that's what I mean by 0.5 to 1. You gotta make the first one. Let me kind of go back to this Lego model, the triangle model I have. Everybody knows about R&D. When I was at school, my professor, by the way, my thesis supervisor is Marty Schmidt. He's now provost of MIT. When I was at Microsystem Technology Laboratory, MTL of MIT, my director was Raphael Reif, now MIT President Reif. So with the from Harvard Medical School and Harvard Public Health School, we actually would do biomedical. So that will be a new sector, healthcare. And then new material. We have material scientists with us. So that is some new area we want to get into. Our investment strategy focus mainly with angel and seed, that's my personal money. And then with the company money, the company fund, we go on to maybe early stage. In the middle, the growth stage is much harder for me to tackle at this time, so we tackle a later stage as well. And we do that very well, actually, with EGI Capital's 2 partners. We cover the entire world, and our business logo is your success is our business. Thank you very much.